Ashhadu wa la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu wa anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. That means in English translation, I openly bear witness and give testimony that there's nothing worthy of worship or praise but Allah, and I bear witness and give open testimony that Muhammad ibn Abdullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is Allah's last messenger and prophet. I greet you with the greetings of all the prophets, from Adam to Muhammad, the greetings of peace of the Quran and the Arabic language of Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. Thank you, believers, for calling in early. I'm going to have a little short, it's not a video, but it's a little audio. And it's going to be dealing with the mystic, Hither. And it's talking about also, there's a Sufi story about Mujud. And he had a similar encounter with the mysterious Hither. So all of this is going to tie in, but let me start it now because I don't want to wait. So, okay, let's see.
The Idris Shah Foundation Podcast. Practical Psychology for Today. Featuring the works of Idris Shah, narrated by David Alt. Welcome to the Idris Shah Foundation Podcast. This is the 7th in our series of selections made by the members of our Facebook group. It comes from Tales of the Dervishes and is entitled The Man with the Inexplicable Life. There was once a man named Mojud. He lived in a town where he had obtained a post as a small official, and it seemed likely that he would end his days as inspector of weights and measures. One day, when he was walking through the gardens of an ancient building near his home, Hida, the mysterious guide of the Sufis, appeared to him dressed in shimmering green. Hida said, "Man of bright prospects, leave your work and meet me at the riverside in 3 days' time." Then he disappeared. Mojud went to his superior in trepidation and said that he had to leave. Everyone in the town soon heard of this, and they said, "Poor Mojud, he has gone mad." But as there were many candidates for his job, they soon forgot him. On the appointed day, Mojud met Hida, who said to him, "Tear your clothes and throw yourself into the stream. Perhaps someone will save you." Mojud did so, even though he wondered if he were mad. Since he could swim, he did not drown, but drifted a long way before a fisherman hauled him into his boat, saying, "A foolish man, the current is strong. What are you trying to do?" Mojud said, "I do not really know." "You are mad," said the fisherman, "but I will take you into my reed hut by the river yonder, and we shall see what can be done for you." When he discovered that Mojud was well-spoken, he learned from him how to read and write. In exchange, Mojud was given food and helped the fisherman with his work. After a few months, Hida again appeared, this time at the foot of Mojud's bed, and said, "Get up now and leave this fisherman. You will be provided for." Mojud immediately quit the hut, dressed as a fisherman, and wandered about until he came to a highway. As dawn was breaking, he saw a farmer on a donkey on his way to market. "Do you seek work?" asked the farmer. "Because I need a man to help me bring back some purchases." Mojud followed him. He worked for the farmer for nearly 2 years, by which time he had learned a great deal about agriculture, but little else. One afternoon, when he was baling wool, Hida appeared to him and said, "Leave that work, walk to the city of Mosul, and use your savings to become a skin merchant." Mojud obeyed. In Mosul he became known as a skin merchant, never seeing Hida while he plied his trade for 3 years. He had saved quite a large sum of money and was thinking of buying a house when Khidr appeared and said, "Give me your money. Walk out of this town as far as distant Samarkand and work for a grocer there." Mojud did so. Presently he began to show undoubted signs of illumination. He healed the sick, served his fellow men in the shop and during his spare time, and his knowledge of the mysteries became deeper and deeper. Clerics, philosophers, and others visited him and asked, "Under whom do you study?" "It is difficult to say," said Mojud. His disciples asked, "How did you start your career?" He said, "As a small official." "And you gave it up to devote yourself to self-mortification?" "No, I just gave it up." They did not understand him. People approached him to write the story of his life. "What have you been in your life?" they asked. "I jumped into a river, became a fisherman, then walked out of his reed hut in the middle of one night. After that I became a farmhand. While I was baling wool, I changed and went to Mosul, where I became a skin merchant. I saved some money there, but gave it away. Then I walked to Samarkand, where I worked for a grocer, and this is where I am now." "But this inexplicable behaviour throws no light upon your strange gifts and wonderful examples," said the biographers. "That is so," said Mojud. So the biographers constructed for Mojud a wonderful and exciting history, because all saints must have their story, and the story must be in accordance with the appetite of the listener, not with the realities of the life. And nobody is allowed to speak of Khidr directly. That is why this story is not true. It is a representation of a life. This is the real life of one of the greatest Sufis. Sheikh Ali Farmadi, died 1078, regarded this tale as important in illustrating the Sufi belief that the invisible world is at all times, at various places, interpenetrating ordinary reality. Things, he says, which we take to be inexplicable are in fact due to this intervention. Furthermore, people do not recognize the participation of this world in our own, because they believe that they know the real cause of events. They do not. It is only when they can hold in their mind the possibility of another dimension sometimes impinging upon the ordinary experiences that this dimension can become available to them. The Sheikh is the 10th Sheikh and teaching master of the Khwajagan masters, later to be known as the Naqshbandi way. This version is from the 17th century manuscript of Lala Anwar, Hikayat-i Abdalan, Tales of the Transformed Ones.
Alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. And I'll do some explanation on that little short account later. I may have to play it again. But, you know, we see in that story, because, you know, now if you've never heard that story and you've heard that Khidr intervened in that particular situation, you know, before I heard the story, I never knew that Khidr, I never heard any other account of Khidr encountering anybody. And as a matter of fact, Khidr's name is not mentioned in the Quran. But we know that Khidr was the one who met and taught Moses lessons, you see. So alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. So let me get started. So we're talking about religion, science, and mysticism. And there's a common origin. Religion, science, and mysticism are three distinct but interconnected ways in which humans have sought to understand and make sense of the world around them. While they often pursue different methods and perspectives, there are some common origins and intersections among them. The quest for understanding. At their core, all three have their origins in the human quest for understanding and knowledge. Humans have a natural curiosity about the world and seek answers to fundamental questions about existence, purpose, and the nature of reality. Religion addresses mysteries through faith. And last week we dealt with, week before last, we dealt with religion, science, and mysticism, and how we can use the wisdom from all three to live practical lives. Use the wisdom that we get from these three disciplines to put into our lives so we can use it practically. So now, religion, science, and mysticism have historically emerged as responses to mysteries of existence and the unknown. Religion often addresses these mysteries through faith and belief in a divine and supernatural realm. Science seeks to explain the unknown through empirical observation, experimentation, and the development of natural laws. Mysticism explores the unknown through direct personal experience and inner contemplation. While they approach questions differently, there is overlap in the questions they seek to answer. For example, they all grapple with questions about the nature of the self, the cosmos, the meaning of life, and existence of higher or transcendent realities. Throughout history, there have been interactions and conflicts between these three domains. For instance, in the Middle Ages, there was a fruitful exchange between religion and science in places like Islamic Spain, where scholars from different religious backgrounds collaborated on scientific endeavors. Mysticism has often been an integral part of religious traditions, providing individuals with direct experience of the divine. And let me stop there. Islamic Spain, right? The Moors. The Moors in Islamic Spain. And as a matter of fact, it is said that under the leadership of the Moors in Islamic Spain, I think it was Andalus was the capital. This is where the Islam spurred on the scientific quest, and it put science back on the map as far as understanding the nature of reality, the universe is concerned. As a matter of fact, there's a Muslim whose name is Al-Jabbar, and he was the one who came up with algebra. So this was a really an advanced society. This was an advanced society in Muslim Spain, or Islamic Spain. And the Moors, you know who the Moors were, right? The Moors were the black Muslims from Northern Africa. So science, the Renaissance, came about as a result of the Moors engaging and becoming the leaders, really the leaders in the world at that time, under the Caliphate. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. So now, Mysticism had often been an integral part of religious traditions, providing individuals with direct experience of the divine. This is Holy Quran 32:2 and 4. The revelation of this book is from the Lord of all the worlds, Elamim, which means to be taught, knowledge, or science. It is Allah who has created the heavens. The Samiwati literally means sky or space, and the earth, Ardi, literally means that which rotates or matter. Science, outer space, light travels at 186,282 miles per second. Now just try to wrap your mind around it. Light travels that fast. 186,282 miles per second. A light year is the time it takes light to travel at that speed in 1 year. Okay, a light year is the time it takes light to travel at that speed in 1 year. 186,282 miles per second. So that means that it'll take 4.5 light years for light to reach our nearest star that's closest to us. It would take light 4.5 years to reach that star. And that star is in the Milky Way galaxy, and we are also in the Milky Way galaxy. So to live in this world without being aware that the universe is almost endless as far as we're concerned. There's no end to the space. So mysticism deals with inner space. That's the space. And this mysticism deals with inner space. You can call inner space spirit, Jinnah, or the soul. Now think about it. Mysticism, they dive deep inside of themselves, inside of the soul. They are travelers or explorers in inner space. Scientists are explorers in outer space. Science is the systematic study of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation and experimentation. Science is a fundamental need within the human being wanting to know. It's the nature of human intelligence. It's not something that somebody made up. So to sustain that wonder, that sense of wanting to know is the basis of science and mysticism. Remember, science does the external exploration, exploring outer space. Mysticism or mystics explore inner space, which is the soul, the spirit, Jinnah, etc. Mysticism is the belief that union with or absorption into the deity or the absolute, which is Allah, or the spiritual apprehension of knowledge inaccessible to the intellect. That's what mysticism is. They believe that it's possible to become united or absorbed into the deity, which is Allah, spirit or ruh, or the absolute, or the spiritual apprehension of knowledge inaccessible to the intellect. So the mystics gain access to knowledge that the mind can't reach or science can't reach. May be attained, they believe that this knowledge may be attained through contemplation and surrender. It may also refer to the attainment of insight in ultimate or hidden truths, and to human transformation supported by various practices and experiences. Now, these are the mystics who have that we know about. They're Jewish mystics, and they are the Essenes. If you ever heard of the Essenes, Jesus, John the Baptist, and Mary Magdalene were members of this mystic order. Matter of fact, they said Jesus was missing He came up missing between the year 12 and 33. He was missing. Where did he go? He went to the mystery schools. He went to the school in Egypt. They said that they have accounts of him going to Egypt, going to India, etc., and studying in these mystery schools. Christian mystics are called the Gnostics. And the Gnostic means to attain a state of deep knowing. The Muslim mystics are the Sufis, and the ones we know about is Rumi, Al-Ghazali, etc. And you know, we had a mystic in that Farad Muhammad. Imam Muhammad said Farad Muhammad was a mystic. He was the mystic who established the Nation of Islam. Okay, he established it, and nobody could refute that. Imam Muhammad said he was a mystic, and he came in the role of a killer, really. If you look at it like that. The mystical journey is at the heart and essence of all religion. That's unrefutable. The mystical journey is at the heart and essence of all religion. The Prophet Muhammad said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, whoever knows thyself knows their Lord. One who seeks God finds him or herself. One who seeks self finds God. He said, I know myself through my Lord. I know my Lord through my Lord. And it says meditation is getting to know yourself. Now, we have a few questions and we'll deal with that later. I'm gonna do an overview. And maybe I could break it down a little bit more. Again, it said that at the base and at the start of all of these religions, you'll find a mystic. You'll find a mystic. Now, again, mysticism is those men and women who search and seek and try to find answers in inner space. Scientists are those who find answers in outer space. You know, now they're talking about going to Mars, etc. And they have already shot a telescope, the James Webb telescope. And it's going, so it's seeing so far out in the past now until, as a matter of fact, when that light, those galaxies are so far away until it takes millions of years for that light to reach us here. So they're, in other words, when they're looking back at that light in those far away galaxies, they're looking into the past. They're looking into the past. So this is how far science has developed. Science has developed to the point now where they're looking, they've developed apparatuses and tools to be able to look deep into the past. Deep into the past. And now we're talking about science, mysticism, and religion. Again, now all of these are a result of a natural urge that Allah put in the nature of the human being. Human being wants to know. We're curious. He put that curiosity in our nature. We want to know. We want to understand our reality. We want to understand the nature and the reality of the cosmos, etc. And Allah bless men and women to come into an understanding of this because He blessed them with it. So those past heroes, established the religious orders. And you see now in this day, most of the scientists who have made great discoveries, they were secret mystics. Albert Einstein said he used to meditate and sleep, doze off, and when he wake up, he have the answer to some of the problems that he couldn't solve with his mind. He said it seems to come from another realm. You see, so we know that there's a deeper reality than just the material reality. And if you try to understand it with your mind, it won't make sense. It's like they were calling Mujud crazy. You see, because the mind can't comprehend things that are beyond its capacity to know. Only Allah can bless you with the realization of that through intuitive insight, revelation, etc. So alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. So that's why we want to make the connection between science, religion, and mysticism, because it's all one system. It's all one system at different rates of consciousness, different levels of consciousness, different levels of awareness. These systems, these three systems, really, what's the common thread that runs through these three systems that seem to be distinct, different from each other? The common thread is Allah, the creator. Allah is the one who intervenes. Allah is the one who brings about, first of all, he put the nature to want to know in our souls. That's the first thing. Secondly, we're all connected throughout the whole universe. The whole universe is connected. We're connected with the universe. Stars and galaxies that are billions of light years away from us, we're still connected. We're connected energetically with the whole system. See, Allah established the whole system from his ruh, his will, his spirit. And everything is operating within that system. So we're connected. So it's one system. Now, depending on how you observe that system, or where you're observing it from, or what you're observing it with, the tools that you're using will determine how much you're going to understand from your observations.